When you hate Trump so much that it destroys your art. Hey guys, we're fighting fascists. No, you're not. You would shit your pants if you met actual fascists. You're fighting 17-year-old kids who are defending their family car lot that you're trying to burn down. They're not attacking Ford Motor Company. They're burning down a family-owned used car lot. How is it a people's revolution when you're burning small businesses? I actually saw a tweet that addressed this exact argument. The Commie had the audacity to say that small businesses didn't necessarily support the workers enough, so it was okay to burn them also. Every so often, you'll get a BLM supporting Commie bookstore that also gets destroyed for some poetic justice. One was trashed last week. They said they still support BLM, but that they were forced to go out of business. Stop being pussies. BLM is cancer. People keep bending over to BLM hoping that they can placate them with posters and street paintings. It will never be enough. They will take everything. They will drink the ocean dry. Cops yeet a dozen of them a year. That number is only going to increase. You got a country with 1/3 of a billion people. You're going to get some bad people, and that includes bad cops. You're never going to get perfection. That is asking the impossible. BLM is so retarded that they have me defending cops. I am the first to speak out against bad cops and Fourth Amendment violations. But social media has no shortage of videos of what cops have to deal with. I post those videos on my other channel, and they keep getting age restricted and giving me strikes. And that channel and this channel are not long for the world. These kids that are out marching are drug-addicted felons, children of single moms. The 3 guys who got kissed by the 223 were all felons. Gee, what are the odds? 3 violent Antifa, a pedo, a wife-beater, and a thief. One was also a felon in possession of a firearm. Antifa is not about fighting the fash. They're just druggy losers who need a religion in their life, so they use communism. And I know some claim anarchy or socialism, but both of those lead to communism. The people who are in the streets are resentful malcontents who are angry at the dads they don't have. They are the Nirvana audience 30 years too late. All that whiny, narcissistic, self-indulgent junkie energy. The world sucks, so I take pills. Well, it's possible that your outlook on life is affected by those central nervous system depressants that you're taking. I guarantee that most of Antifa BLM has a monkey on their back. Some of these women yelling at cops at midnight are chasing Adderall with Diet Coke. Anyway, my point is, some of these people have TDS, but others are just using it as an excuse to go get high and burn a small business. They LARP as revolutionaries, but you saw how well Chaz worked out. The Chaz Garden was the saddest example of socialism ever, or so I thought. Then they topped it by having a garden exclusively for POCs. Congratulations, you retards, you went full circle and became what you claim to hate. And you know how I know that Antifa and BLM is doomed? The best leaders of any organization are usually white males, but the oppression hierarchy of Marxism won't allow that, so the loudest voices in their organizations are women, but women are not good leaders, so their organizations are never going to be organized enough to actually do anything. Anyway, this article is a sad example of someone breaking their arm, patting themselves on the back. You're really sticking it to the incels by putting Trump in a comic book that they're not going to read. Probably nobody is going to read it. Trump just isn't that interesting. Even the people who hate him are not going to want to read about him. Comics are a nice escape. It's fiction. Very few people want to read propaganda. I know there was a lot of interest in Trump in 2015, 2016, so people were coming out with coffee table books, mostly against him. And I guess those sold well in 2016, but after that, it's like, okay, well, he's in office. You can't do anything about it. Like, you can try to, they tried with a lot of things, and nothing works, because the guy is clean as a whistle. If he wasn't as clean as a whistle, stuff would have come out. Nothing has come out. So I think by now people have just accepted it, and they realize the odds of him getting reelected in 2020 are pretty solid because Biden has dementia, which is a weird state of affairs when Hillary Clinton in 2016 and Biden in 2020 are the best that you can come up with. Anyway, I swear it's all related. So comic creator Jim Starlin, Marvel's Thanos creator, reveals Donald Trump-inspired villain. Effing great. People can't even read a book or a comic and escape. Comic creator is taking his displeasure, Trump derangement syndrome, to a new level. You need help. Modeling a villain after him in his newest comic series. Details a Hollywood Reporter who revealed that the evil Plundo Tram, an anagram of Donald Trump. Dun, 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 dun. The upcoming graphic novel, funded through Kickstarter, raising over $135K. That's not that much for a big name. That's not that's a great, if you're a comics geek guy, that's a great campaign, but if you're a big known name and you hit $135K, I feel like there should be another zero on the end. There should be 1.4 mil. Will be released later this year. Mark's first time he returns to World Dreadstar in 3 decades. In an interview, opened up about his feelings about Trump. No shit, you don't like Trump. Obviously. Even the people who support Trump don't necessarily love him, but they just look at the alternatives and realize there's no alternatives, you idiot. People are holding their nose and voting for Trump, and now more people are voting for Trump because what you idiots are doing in Portland, Seattle, Minneapolis, Chicago, all these blue cities, you're creating Trump voters. It's like every time you guys take a step, you step on your dicks. You cannot help yourselves. Like most everybody else, at the beginning, I was giving Trump the benefit of, no, you weren't. You're so full of, no, you weren't. You people were delusional in 2015 when you saw the TV star was going to become your next president. You didn't give anyone the benefit of anything. Get fucked. Hoping he would grow into the job, and he hasn't. Up until the Chinese caused Wu flu, country was actually doing pretty darn good, and you know that. After the president's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, there's nothing he could have done. He did a middle of the road response. He was better than some countries and worse than some countries. What do you want? If he completely shut down travel from China and shut down all these Asian countries, people would lose their freaking minds at the racism of Donald Trump's being a Nazi again. So he takes a middle path like many countries did. And guess what? The Wu flu is just not that serious. The hospitals are empty. Oh, 6 million people came down with the Wu flu. Well, yeah, 6 million people came down with the flu last year. The Wu flu fatality rate is like 1% greater than the average flu rate. It's just not a big deal. People they're wearing masks in their profile pictures to virtue signal. Why are you wearing a mask in you're at home and taking a picture with your cell phone? You can take the mask off. Okay, so you didn't like the response to COVID. I'm sure you would have done better. Put him in Dreadstar's Return. I actually went back to rewrite the script around those pages because I'm so fucking deranged. Plundo Trom wasn't quite as despicable as I wanted him to be. I went back and got worse with it. Oh, he made him fatter. Trump is a big fatty. Disgusting, but you put him in a comic book and made him a bad guy. Good going. That's stunning and brave. It's so original. We haven't had 4 years of this. Apparently feature an image of King Plundo, head on a pike. A callback to the controversial photo shoot done by comedian, you better put that one in quotes, Griffin back in 2017, featuring a decapitated head of Trump. This isn't the first time this comic work and President Trump have crossed paths. Re-election campaign posted a bizarre video in which the sitting president was depicted as Thanos from Avengers Endgame. Thanos, his creation, was a prime antagonist for Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. After my initial feeling of being violated, it was just like rape, except for the rape. Seeing that pompous fool use my creation to stroke his infantile ego, it finally struck me that the leader of my country and the free world actually enjoys comparing himself to a mass. It's fiction, you developmentally disabled bundles of sticks. It's fiction. It's a cartoon. How sick is that? These are sad and strange times we're going through. Oh, Obama, I miss you so much. Fortunately, all things, even national nightmares, eventually come to an end. Yeah, in 2025, when they elect... Oh, dear Lord, let them elect one of his kids. Just to complete the reign. This marks the latest comic book villain to be modeled after Trump. As 2016 Spider-Gwen annual featured in... Oh, I don't remember that. MODOK from MODOK. The mental organism designed as America's king. Stunning and brave, you losers. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you on the next episode.